Hello, brothers and sisters. Lee, how are you doing today? Today we're here at Almost Havana Cigar Lounge with the owner, Patrick Lucas. This is the Perdomo Cigar Lounge, one of very few in the States that have correct.
Yeah, there's less than a dozen in the United States.
Okay. The reason I asked Patrick to be in the video is he is the owner. He is more knowledgeable about the business. And today we chose to do the Habano Syndrome by Perdomo. And this is the first time I think somebody's bought Patrick the cigar.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often.
But I wanted to get with you to know what it's like, what the experience is of being an owner, as opposed to being a client,
Right.
Because that's a completely different setup.
That's for sure. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it's one of those things that as a cigar smoker, and I'm sure people listening and watching, and you and maybe a lot of others, have thought, oh man, I'd love to own a cigar store.
Oh, most definitely.
And, so I hear that a lot. I've heard that a lot over the last 30 years. I've been smoking cigars almost 30 years. And so I've heard that as many times as anything else over the years. And so, it just happened to fall into place for me. I had a business partner or two, and we were able to make it happen.
Okay.
And it was exciting, and it was, kind of a dream come true. At the very beginning,
right.
I mean, the excitement level, I wanted to be here all day, every day.
Right.
I couldn't, because I'm a realtor.
Right.
I do that first, but I wanted to be here all the time and soak it in and welcome people and make them feel at home and all that. And so it's very exciting. But what happens is you settle in and you realize you're in business,
right?
And businesses aren't in business just to say, hey, I own this and I own that. Businesses are in business to make money,
Right.
and they're also in business to cater to their customers and to make it a place people want to come to. So you kind of two big things you got to do there, and sometimes it's hard to balance both things.
What is the hardest part?
The hardest part is having the exact inventory everybody wants you to have at all times.
Well, that's impossible.
Right, it's virtually impossible, and but because people come in all day, every day, do certain days. There's hundreds of transactions that take place
Right.
through the POS system, and you might have 10 people come in and ask for something you don't have.
Right.
And there's so many cigars out there. I mean, I don't know. We could make the whole store humidor and you still wouldn't have every cigar out there, And
well, all the boutique cigars, there's so many of those that it's impossible to try to carry.
Yeah, there's some we've never even heard of.
Right.
And so we have learned over the last 7.5 years of being open what our clients like.
Right.
And what sells. And I look at the humidor as real estate. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And I look at every space in there as a tenant, like a little apartment. And each box is a tenant. And if the tenant doesn't pay its rent, it gets evicted. And so if something is selling, it's paying its rent. If something's not selling, not paying its rent, you evict it. And so that's what we've tried to do over the years. And it's funny because at the very beginning we were super boutique.
Right.
We had as many boutiques as we could possibly have because that was just our thing. That's what we were interested in doing. And then there were so many times that people came in like, what? You don't have this brand? Why would you not have that brand? And so it got to the point where we were like, we're probably too far boutique, not enough traditional.
Right.
And then maybe we got a little too traditional, and now we're trying to come back a little more boutique. So we're trying to strike that balance because we want to serve the people in the valley, in Putnam County.
Right.
And they have a wide range of palates, and it is what it is. So we tried to do our best to make sure we have what people are looking for, plus new things they haven't tried before. Because that's what keeps people coming in, is to get the new stuff. There are plenty of people come in that buy the same thing over and over and over and over. Fine with us, but there's a lot of people that like to try things new and things that are rare.
How did it become Perdomo? Well, that's been my biggest question.
Well, here's the thing. Years ago, gosh, probably 4, maybe 5 years ago, Jay Rowlish and I were at it's called the IPCPR show back then, it's now PCA. But we were at the show and we had seen we'd seen a new brand there called Cornelius. And Jay was struck by the way they marketed their brand. Thought it was really cool and sleek.
Right.
And so we went over and met them. We really liked them. And we tried their cigars and thought, holy cow. Because they were, the owner of it owned a humongous cigarette company. And he decided to get into cigars. And they were growing a lot of their tobacco for the cigars in Virginia.
Okay.
And that was very attractive to us. And they were only 4 or 5 hours away from us. We could go right down there where they grow the tobacco. Just a 4 or 5 hour drive. So it was a brand that was attractive to us, and our customers loved it. And so they talked to us about becoming Cornelius and Anthony Lounge. And so we became one. And so it was really cool. We had their artwork up and all that. And maybe 2 years later-ish, the owner sold the whole company. It was mainly somebody wanted the cigarette company.
Okay.
They sold the whole thing, got completely out of the tobacco business. And so overnight they were gone. And so we took everything down and repainted and all that. And it was like, man, we look kind of naked in here. What are we going to do now? Do we become a lounge for another brand, or do we just do our own thing, or what? But you don't have to be a branded lounge.
Right.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Arthur Kemper, but it could have been Nick Perdomo, but one of the others mentioned something to one of us on one of the trips down there to their factory tour in Escalade. Said something about there being a Perdomo lounge somewhere, and got our attention. And so I guess the question was asked, what's it take to become a Perdomo lounge? Because at that point we were selling more Perdomo than any other brand.
Oh, most definitely.
And we certainly are today. And so they said, well, we'll have to talk to you about it sometime. Well, I guess it was like 2019, somewhere around summer 2019. I asked Arthur about it again. It had kind of been a year and a half long. Hey, what about that Perdomo Lounge thing? Oh yeah, we'll talk about that sometime, and nothing ever happened. So we talked about it and got into, what's expected of us, what's expected of you, and all that.
Right.
And so once we realized that it was something that we both wanted to do, it happened. Now it took a while, because they there's things they have to do, and then they got the artwork ready for us and all that. So I guess we've been a Perdomo Lounge for about 2 years now. Because I think it was summer of 2020 when it was official.
Right.
And so we have all their artwork up in the lounge, and one of the things is there's not supposed to be any other brand in the lounge. You know, something,
Right.
you know, their materials or anything. Obviously, we can have events and the people can come in and have their cigars in here and all that. It is what it is. But the essence of being a Cigars Lounge is that you don't see another brand's, you know, poster or anything like that, unless you're just advertising an event or something.
Okay.
So it's been really cool. And then Butch, that works here, came up with this chair rail made out of Perdomo box tops, which I've never seen anywhere else.
That was genius.
Yeah, it was great. Because we were talking about putting up a chair rail, because these chairs were bumping up against the walls.
Right.
The walls are dark, and you can see the white behind it. And so I had a guy I was going to just make a chair rail, like a black chair rail or something.
Right.
And I came in one evening and Butch said, "What do you think about that?" And I turned around and saw those box tops on that wall back there, making the chair rail. I was like, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. So that's why we're all Perdomo'd up.
But anyway, what other question did I have? Oh yeah, your palate. How has that changed over the course of the year?
Well, I had been smoking cigars for about 20 years before we opened Almost Havana. And I was just one of those casual smokers. I wasn't even an everyday smoker. But I was, you know, probably a 5 cigar a week smoker, you know, usually on the weekends, you know, was most of it, and then whenever I got the chance. But when we opened the lounge, and all of a sudden I had 400 square feet of cigars, you know, I was probably more of a general cigar smoker, you know, the general brands, because they were readily available everywhere you go. You know, probably just the regular stuff, the Julio de Monterey's and Punch and Partagas and things like that. Don Diego, I remember smoking a lot of Don Diego back in the day. And so when we opened this store, I started trying everything.
Right.
And so I went from, you know, having, you know, this much of an experience with tobacco to, you know, having everything. I mean, I'd never had anything that had a San Andreas wrapper or Cameroon or a Sumatra or Habano or, you know, all those different things and all those different blends that come along with that and all these different companies and all these different countries and soils and, you know, and so it was every day. It was like Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, try a couple of new cigars every day, and it was unbelievable. And it still is. You know, there's still stuff to try and do every day.
I know that's what I like about it is I take the third cigars with coffee every day. That's what I try and share with people is let them know what cigar pairs best with coffee or what coffee pairs best with what cigar.
Right.
And I'm trying to find new cigars. That's like I've got the E.P. Carrillo Inn.
He retired.
I found that at Smoking Joe Cigars down in Alcoa, Tennessee.
Yeah, we used to carry those.
But this was their new blend of Nicaragua. I'm guessing it was 100% Nicaraguan blend. And I'm just waiting for it now to have the humidity needed to be able to be smoked.
Right.
Because last time I tested it was below 60%. I won't smoke a dry cigar.
Right.
But anyway, I did want to get with you. Bill wants to get with you to take and do this video. Like I said, this is Perdomo Lounge. The variety of Perdomo cigars available this is the only place you can get a lounge edition.
Both of the guys.
Right.
You can't get those just anywhere.
Yeah, only get them at Perdomo lounges. And there's Connecticut, Sun-Grown, and Maduro blend. We've got 4 Vitolas each.
And then the factory tour blend.
Fucking lazy.
Yep.
I know I don't see those on a regular basis at any other.
Right, and now you won't, because they've discontinued making, they discontinued making a couple of different blends. So that was one of them. So, but there for a while, we had them all. They made a special tower, a big wooden tower out there. It's about 7 feet tall or so.
Probably.
And it was full of factory tour. I remember being on the factory tour, and they had it sitting there where we, smoke in the evenings. And I was like, what is that thing? And he said, well, it's a factory tour blend. You can only get that. The only retailers that can get those in their shop are the ones that come on the tour. I was like, oh. So it was kind of exclusive. It was a very popular cigar for us. And I hated to see them halt production on those. They might come back someday.
Right.
But for right now, they're gone.
It's one of the ones that I always look for whenever I came in. It's not one that is readily available, and
Right.
it is sad that it's gone. But anyway, I want to thank you for taking time out, because I know you're busy.
Absolutely.
You're political. You're going to church on Sundays.
Yeah.
You're doing all this, doing the real estate, and then coming in here on your off time and keeping busy. So
That's right.
it was a pleasure to actually sit down and talk with you.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do it anytime.
But anyway, if you get a chance and you're in Hurricane, West Virginia, get off at exit 39. Exit 39, and it's in the
Liberty Plaza.
Liberty Plaza in Hurricane. Number 3.
That's right. 3 Liberty Square. That's right. That's right.
But anyway, if you get a chance, swing by, see Patrick. If Patrick's not here, see Bud. They're knowledgeable about their products and the business in general. But again, thank you.
My pleasure, Chris.
I appreciate you taking time out.
All right, brother. It was fun. Let's do it again.
So.